Welcome to Summer Sessions Live on YouTube and your favorite podcast platform. It's the #1 destination for all things summer fun. We'll chat about your summer passions and share some fan photos along the way. Summer Sessions Live. Enjoy the ride.
In a summer state of mind.
All right, now I got to remove that. Look at, we got Andy in the house now, I think.
Hi, guys.
Hey, how are you? You're looking very round today.
You have to wait a few minutes for my lovely mug to come online here in a minute.
Okay, I'm going to kick you out then, okay? And then when I see your face, I'll let you in, okay?
Sounds good.
But welcome everybody to Summer Sessions Live. And we have, I'm thinking snowmobiles because Shelby Mahon's in the house and it's awesome. So excited to have you on board. Welcome.
Awesome. Thanks for having me. I'm pretty stoked to be here.
That's great. And I said in the description, if anyone ever takes the time to read it, that if you've ever been in motocross or snowcross or side-by-side racing or any power sport, chances are you might not have heard of Shelby. You've probably seen her out on the track and usually with a big camera in her hands.
That's me. I'm usually the one they're always looking, who's that girl on the track? Who's that?
How do I get out there?
Yeah, I don't have time to talk usually. I'm just usually so busy working.
How'd you get into photography, sports photography like that?
It was really funny. I was actually going to university to become a teacher. I was studying medieval history of all things. And I basically was like, I grew up riding side by side or ATVs, snowmobiles, everything, following my parents around. And basically I was like, I want to race. Like, I'm tired of jumping off trail and praying for snow out here, in Ontario, the flatlands. Sometimes we don't have enough snow to ride like that. So I luckily saved up enough money, bought a sled, threw some race shocks in it, and went riding. And then loved snowcross so much, I picked up a camera, and turns out I was pretty good at that. So I stuck to it.
So how many years ago did you start photography?
Way to make me feel old. Basically, I started the business in 2013 now. I'm basically almost at my 10 years of officially having the business, but it was around like 2011, I think I basically started doing some photography stuff and racing.
That's cool. Well, that's cool. And did you have any accolades in your racing career? Have you taken home any big top prizes?
I did a few. It was really cool. I didn't get too much time. Unfortunately, I broke my wrist. And then picking up the photography side, I really dove into the business part of it. So I had to not race, unfortunately. But I did a couple things. My first year of racing, I was second in the trail sport women's class for the CSRA, the Canadian National Series. And yeah, I got a couple first place and third place in the pro women's class. I actually, they bumped me up from trail sport the first season and my second season straight into the pro women's class. And I actually won my very first race out. So I consider my snowcross career complete.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's been pretty cool. I've gone back a couple times to race the vintage class. I've got a pretty cool picture in the background there of me racing from one of my buddies that Dave took. So
I think we have that picture in the fan photos, right?
Quite possibly.
Yeah, we got lots of
things. It was so hard to select pictures because I've gotten to do a lot of amazing things over the last 10 years.
Yeah, now tell us what you're doing now. You let a little bit about your involvement with BRP. Let's talk about that for a bit.
I am so excited. So I say I've been riding for my entire life. I was born in January. Was on a snowmobile that same winter. It's in my blood. I lucked out. Basically, I got headhunted 2 months ago for a position. BRP brought in a new agency of record called Cassette. So they help out with all the marketing. Skidoo and BRP, everyone has their in-house marketing department, but they also utilize an outside agency. So they actually headhunted me, found me, and brought me into the little fold there. And I'm basically making content and helping them make sure that they're with their depictions.
So it's more than a brand ambassador. You're more of a like when they have in movies and they do military things and they want to make sure what they're depicting is accurate. That's what you do?
Yeah, literally. So I've been involved with a couple different shoots that have been going on. I get to see footage and I let them know like if there's things that the production team missed, especially right now with COVID. We can't always have people on site to be handling this kind of thing. So I'm getting live footage come in from different shoots to check that. And I'm working with the strategy team and the content team to come up with ideas for campaigns. And we're about in Skidoo stuff. And I am just obviously so excited.
That's cool. Like to land a job like that. And then you've also done work with some other brands as well.
Well, right, and it's kind of always been a buildup. I've always wanted to work for BRP, but they're in Quebec. I do not speak French, unfortunately. I was not interested in moving to Quebec. I love Ontario. The northern Ontario here is just where I'm born and raised, and I'll never leave it. So I've always kind of wanted to, but I've gotten to do little things here and there. I worked with CF Moto Canada for a while. They're another company based in Quebec, but luckily they didn't make me move to Quebec.
Nice.
I spent a couple of years with them as one of their field marketing managers. I got to fly all over Canada, taking pictures and doing social media stuff for them. That was really cool. They were a big client for me. During all of like these jobs, I've always had other clients running my business, Backcountry Motorsports Media. So
yeah.
They're full-time jobs, but then of course I run my own business. So I'm usually working 60 to 80-hour weeks to make it happen.
Wow.
It's been pretty crazy. There was 2 years there. I got to follow the Rockstar Triple Crown series is what it was called at the time, with Roos Factory, Hoosier Off-Road. So that was really cool. I did a bunch of photography. I was their director of marketing, got to see the company launch and then parted ways. And now I basically got a year off. COVID kind of kicked in there and shut everything down for a lot of us. But it was kind of nice because I was forced to take time off. I kept a couple clients, MXP Magazine. They're pretty awesome. So yeah, but other than that, yeah, it was sweet. I got to take time off. Now I'm ready to go.
That's the thing. It was a blessing in disguise because you land into BRP where you wanted to be in the first place, right?
Yeah, it was. It's been little steps everywhere. I just considered it a ladder. Every hard thing I hit, it just was, yep, it's on to the next thing, onward and upward.
That's awesome. We got some friends in the house. Yeah, Random Ryan, our buddies in the house. You know Random Ryan well.
Ryan is my best friends ever.
Yeah, for sure. And we got Jesse Buckman. He's in the house. Hey, Jesse. Corey Brock says, let's talk Sea-Doos. I'm waiting for a 21 RXTX 300. Ooh. And you're here. I don't want to talk about snowmobiling when you've seen Jesse come in. Yeah, but there'll be more joining in the fun for sure. Have you done much sea-dooing? I don't think I've seen any sea-doos in your pictures.
A little bit. We had a couple. My parents picked up a couple sea-doos a few years ago. I've enjoyed them, but our lake was just getting inundated with people. So I like to ride and like really ride and play hard. And it was just there was nowhere quiet that I could play without like disturbing people. And I'm big on being respectful when you're riding. It's important for the industry, for everyone's personal life. It's important to be respectful to everybody else. So I kind of just let it go for the side. Didn't really have time in the summertime. So it's fun. I love them. One day I'll have another one.
Yeah, that's cool. That's cool. Yeah, I had one. I owned one years ago, but then I sold it to get my boat because the kids were getting older and stuff like that. But they're a lot of fun. Corey's going to have a ride on that one, and it's an absolutely.
I hope he gets his in. There's some short stuff going on this season, as we've seen with all the power sports. Everything is sold out left, right, and center.
Yeah. Well, actually, he's getting an Energy Powersports, and John Luke is he really works hard. I mean, for everybody that comes in, I've sent John Luke lots of people as well. Corey has as well for not only snowmobiles, ATVs, and watercraft, and he'll work hard to get it in stock and give you a pretty accurate date if he doesn't have it when it can come in. So, and Corey's was like that. He lucked out and got one of the last units and ended up he ended up. Sorry, I just got a text from Andy. He's getting there, but yes, but and that's the thing. John Luke, Energy Powersports takes care of you, right? So, and he won't make any empty promises. If he can't get it, then he can't. That's
the thing. Like, I find, like, not to be like, BRP. So many of the dealerships are so great. Like, everyone is so loyal to the dealerships for like that. I mean, we've been with our dealership for like 25 years, so it's lifelongers.
yeah, that's good. Well, you gotta come up with a relationship, because I think it's a win-win for both times, instead of jumping ship every year and building no loyalty up. I'm just going to see if Andy wants in audio only. He said he can't get his Bell internet to hook up. He should get the Starlink.
Well, right. I saw all the Starlink is amazing. I'm so excited with it.
Yeah, for sure. So, but oh yeah, so let's have a look at some pictures. Actually, we'll get right into it, and we'll chat with Andy when he comes online, and away we go. So here, I'm just gonna actually get these going here. I gotta move you over. There we go. That's perfect. So Jared Kelly sent this in, but he didn't send me any text to it. But I know what that is. That's a DT200R, and I'm not sure if it's an 89 like mine with a blue seat, or if it's newer, and they made them up to 94, so that could even be newer than mine. But it sure does look exactly like mine. I put a couple pictures in here because I love this. There's a 2-stroke.
That's nice looking bike.
It is. They're fun, man. Lots of power. Mine's, when they come out with mine, it was the first one with the power band, or I can't remember what Yamaha calls it, PVS, the power band valve, and they said you could take the headlight and taillight off and race it competitively on a motocross track when it came out. And it's wicked. It's a hell of a pile of fun. Yeah. That looks identical to mine, so I'm almost thinking it's an 89 white and he just had the seat redone blue. Oh, the shock boots are blue though too, so I don't know if it is newer. So we'll get right into your pictures. What are we looking at here?
Oh, this was back in the glory days. I was back in like 2013, 2014 when I was racing the pro women's class. We used to race up in Cochrane. It was a pretty sweet spot. It was one of my favorite races.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, I knew you didn't take the picture, so I assumed it must be on.
Yeah, I didn't see the picture I took.
It's all blurry. I was going, I don't even know whether I want to put this up, because
I know
this isn't Shelby's finest hour of photography.
So this is a good example of what it's like. So normally I'm the one behind the camera taking all the pictures. So when I'm the one doing all the cool stuff, there's usually no one taking pictures of it. So I'm usually cell phone photos from my friends, from my friend Cass, who I used to race with.
That's awesome. Would you have been shooting at that as well, at that same event?
Yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely. So that's normally what I do is I would race and then I would take pictures when I wasn't racing. And thank goodness my mom and dad were always there to help out. So my dad would have my sled ready for me to race and I'd run off the track, hand my mom the camera and go race.
That's crazy though. Like that, you must have been exhausted.
Oh, it was ridiculous. That was always everyone's comment at the end of the weekend, especially if we had a ski hill, because I'd have to walk up the ski hill and back down, and it was crazy, but always fun and worth it. I was in good shape.
That's awesome. There you go.
Yeah, heydays, shooting. That's usually how people see me. So I'm usually cameras and cell phone in hand. Usually in the wintertime, I'm obviously wearing a little bit more clothing, especially when it's my baby.
You'd hope, right? Well, and actually, you don't have any protective gear on, but I know in the wintertime they make you wear a tech vest. Is there anything else that they make you wear?
Not normally any of the events. It's usually just a tech vest for those ones. There's a few places I'll choose to wear a tech vest, like if I'm shooting side-by-sides and whatnot. During the hot weather, of course, when I'm shooting, this particular one was freestyle, so everyone was jumping over top of me, so I was totally safe. No.
Yeah, that's right. Well, you don't want to get hit by a side-by-side. They kind of hurt.
Oh, exactly. And there's been some close calls, and it's hard when you really want to get the shot. And I'm big. Like people always make comments about I'm like folded over in half, or I'm standing on tractor tires, or I'm up on a ledge like a goat. I'm always trying to get the shot. So it's quite, you got to play it smart.
Yeah. Well, that's the way I am with shooting my videos is I risk my camera a lot. Like when I was shooting Wyatt years ago, I'd set my GoPro right on the track, and Andy goes, "He's gonna hit it. He's gonna hit it." And I go, "Well, I don't care if he misses it. It's gonna be an awesome shot. Like an awesome." It's the same as my drone. There's times I get a shot and I go, "Oh, that went right through those trees. And just one more inch, it would have, hit something, right?" So
exactly.
Pro Polaris says, "What's up, everyone? Welcome, Shelby." And he gives us a sunglasses emoji.
Nice. I know.
Yeah. Hey, Andy, how are you?
I'm sitting in the truck now.
You got better internet in the truck?
Yeah, no, I had to disconnect from the basement and had to come out to the truck. So I'm sitting in.
Yeah.
Perfect for shop.
There you got some wicked backlighting on you there.
All right, hang on. Let me hey, how's that?
Yeah.
There we go.
Did you get my text?
Yes, I did.
Have you got all those draw names in the helmet?
If you give me a couple of minutes, I'll get those.
You've got them almost all printed out? Perfect. Awesome.
Yep.
Now, I'll give you a couple of minutes. We've got lots going on here.
All right.
Yeah, I was going to ask you, Andy, have you ever seen Shelby at the track? Like you've been in Walton and Gopher and.
Probably seen her wander out. What year were you doing the Triple Crown?
It was basically like 2019, 2020. I was there way back again in like 2016-ish for a couple events. Yeah. I wasn't big on motocross. That was the one thing. So I only made it out a few times.
Oh, okay.
2019 was the big year for us. Wyatt was still junior at that year, and he was come home from Loretta Lynn's in the motocross world. That would have been the only place we would have crossed paths, unless you were out looking for wildlife in your hometown. I've spent a hometown before.
No way! Oh, that's fantastic. Not a lot of people know about Perry Sound. It's a hidden gem.
We used to spend a bit of time in Sunridge and in South River. Right.
Yes, oh, nice. So my new grounds. Yes, yeah, I moved to Sunridge here almost about a year and a half ago. I love it here. It's perfect.
Oh, it's a great area. It's a great area.
January 2017, seen a giant moose in the just in the between Sunridge and on the old road, the old highway.
Oh, perfect. Yeah, they're everywhere. We literally have to watch for them anytime we go out, especially if we're on the motorcycles. It's watch out for the moose and the turkeys.
I've never seen a moose on the highway, or like I seen one in Algonquin Park years ago when I was mountain biking, but I haven't seen one snowmobiling or in the car. Like you see people sending these brilliant pictures, and I haven't been that fortunate to see one yet.
Yeah, that's too bad. We see them every year, highway, on the snowmobile trail, everywhere.
And a girl from work went up, right where 115 comes off of Highway 11.
Yep.
There's a family of moose. I think it was a mom and a baby all last year. And I guess tons of people seen them, and they were stopping their cars to have a look. We were up at the cottage every weekend and never seen it once. It's just my luck, right?
I hope you'll get to see them and it won't be too personal.
Oh, that's right. I had a deer hit me a couple of weeks ago in my truck. Two deer ran out in front of me, and I swerved and drove between them, and the one ran right in the side at the back. So it was just a baby doe, like a small doe. So it put a dent in it, but it didn't. It could have been a lot worse, I think. I wouldn't want to hit a moose. So. Don from Adventures This Way is in the house. He says, hey, what's going on? I know the feeling about getting the shot. So I was telling Shelby that when I was shooting that video up in at the secret track up near Wyerton, And you were saying, why it's going to run right over that camera. You better move it. And I'm going, nope, it's good. And I'm laying right there. And
That was actually in Meaford, the Eastern Flowering Meaford.
yeah, Meaford. Sorry, that's right. I don't want to give away. I didn't want to divulge where the secret MX track is, though.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah. Am I blocking you here? There we go.
Oh yeah, there I am. So that's the first as we speak about. I was the only skidoo on the line.
That's awesome. All cat. Yeah. And this is how old were you there?
I started race. I was 20. I would have been 20 there, basically. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I started late. Yeah.
Yeah, like it wasn't like you were 14 and feeling no pain. You're actually a responsible adult.
Oh yeah, I was making a conscious decision to do that to my body. Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. What's it like? Like you've ridden a lot of bikes and stuff. Like, how much more grueling is it than, say, an MX?
They're all this, like, everything is different, right? Like they're both going to beat the crap out of your body, but they're slightly a different way. Like, I know a lot of people used to tease me and say, oh, the machine does all the work, but it's like, that's a heavy machine to be throwing around. So, but the dirt bikes, you guys go forever.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Andy's humble, but he's a hell of a dirt bike rider, man. You got to see that guy ride. He doesn't like to talk about it, but anyway, his son comes by honestly.
We called it the Huff and Puff League.
I'm like the knoppy.
Bunch of old vets out there having fun, but comes from the love of riding. You know, whether you're snowcrossing or motocrossing or ATVing. It's funny because I've motocrossed sport quads and I've motocrossed dirt bikes, and I'll be honest with you, motorcycles or dirt bikes are a lot easier to motocross than quads, hands down.
Yeah, yeah.
Most work and because everything has to line up perfectly. You have two wheels, you have a complete different line choice. But anyway, it comes down to what you love and what you like to do, right?
Yeah.
It's still like riding them all. I love I love sport quads, and then flat tracking. If you get a chance to flat track, bikes or quads, it's a hoot. It's a riot.
Yeah. Now, Shelby, you raced side by sides, did you not?
I have a couple times. I got to, when I was with CF Moto, I got to race Latuque. They have a 24-hour endurance race there. The ATV or the side by sides go much shorter than the 24 hours. I think it was about 2 hours. So I got to race in there in one of their 800s. Yeah, it was 800. Oh, geez, that's way back now. Yeah, that's like 2015. Got to do that. Wow. So pretty cool. I ended up like third in the women's class and then like fifth overall. So it was pretty cool for my first race. And then I worked for one of my favorite clients, Joe Duncan, out of the States, doing a bunch of stuff. So he did the Terracross series, and he was nice enough during one of the races to actually let me go race the pro women's class. So I got to race with like Michelle Abbott and Jolene Van Voot and Sarah Price. It was pretty unreal.
That's cool. And what's it like? Does it beat you up like a quad or a bike or a snowmobile does, or is it like driving your car?
It was a dream. I mean, you're going to get jostled and like jarred and stuff like that. Like I rolled it, of course, me having my fun times. I tried to avoid hitting one of the other girls and I ended up rolling the machine instead. So you get a jarring motion, but it's nothing like the pounding on your shoulders and your back and your lower back and your legs that you get from snowmobiles and ATVs and stuff. It's so much nicer.
Yeah, cool. I'd like to try that sometime. I've actually driven them and put one on its side, but I haven't ridden one for very very far, like on a real trail experience, Oh
yeah, it's awesome. I wish I could drive one all the time.
Yeah, I'm getting a low battery signal here. Hang on, what's going on? Yeah, we just talked about this.
I am a tech wizard. You can call me anytime.
There we go. I got it. I was just telling Shelby about my no battery situations. So it's going good. Yeah, so that's cool. No, that's something I'd like to really take one on a trail. Like it'd be neat to do like the Algonquin West ATV run with a side by side, or the park to park would be cool.
Yeah,
I
I
think.
love. Yeah, the park to park is an amazing trail system. It's real nice.
Yeah, that's on my list to do this summer.
There's
We'll
my
see.
dad.
Is that your dad? That's awesome.
That's my
Right in
dad.
there.
Oh
Look at
yeah.
that camera on your head. What is that?
That was a Liquid Image. They came out with the goggles that had a little camera in the center of them way back then. And then that was like their GoPro version.
That's funny.
They had
And
good intentions.
yeah, I think there's a lot of companies that come out like that with good intentions, right? Like
Yep.
that company GoPro with the Hero series, they had good
Mhm.
intentions too
Oh
with
yeah,
the
I
camera.
don't know what they're thinking.
It looks like a Hero 3 or something on the girl behind you there.
Probably, yeah, yeah. That would be the right time era.
Yeah. So when you raced, was it all female classes or did you go against guys as well?
When I first started, I actually did both the men's and women's trail sport classes. I enjoyed it. The guys weren't too pleased about it, so there was some drama, and I basically just ended up racing the women's classes. That age group for boys in that group, they were a little scary. I mean, my first race, someone like T-boned me, and I was just like, yeah, I think I'll just go race with the women for now.
Like they do it on purpose?
Oh yeah, yeah, and they actually yelled at me and told me I shouldn't be out there. I don't belong on the track, and it was pretty bad. But it was like whatever, you just got to
Yeah.
brush stuff off in this industry and move forward. So Snowcross, no, I basically stayed to the women's classes. When I luckily got to go race the Red Bull Snow Boundaries. It was held at ERX in Minnesota there a couple of years ago. So fortunately, due to my racing pro women's snowcross, I got bumped up and had to race in the pro class. So I actually I was the only girl in the class. And I raced with like Levi LaValle and a bunch of those guys. It was insane. Unfortunately, I got my sled stuck, so I had to like sit out for part of the race until I got it unstuck, but I did finish.
That is crazy. Greg
Oh,
from
yeah.
Sometime is now just come in and he said, "What did I miss?" You missed everything, Greg. The show's over. We're just finishing up here.
Yeah, that's it. We're gonna go make some popcorn and go to bed.
That's exactly.
Oh,
Very
yeah.
cool. This shot here is exactly what you're saying. That's you, right? Oh,
Taking pictures. Yeah.
right there.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
that's pretty awesome. I love that.
This was at Heydays. The last year I got to go before this COVID business. So it's definitely one of my most favorite shots. It's funny because people actually get confused and they're like, "Oh, like I see you're hitting the ramps now." I'm like, "Oh, I mean, yes, that's totally something I would do, but no, I'm in the background."
That's right. Yeah. Was that a friend of yours that took that, or is that another sports
I
photographer?
was another photographer I met at the track. So I'm so friendly. I'm always talking to everybody. So it's really cool. You get to meet a lot of neat people and people that, get you. They get the photo angles and the work that goes into it. So I love meeting the other photographers and videographers.
Yeah, you probably learned some things too. So how you mentioned about COVID there? Like, what's your summer like last summer and this summer? The plans now that things are not moving. Have you got enough things on your plate to keep you going?
Oh, it's been crazy. So like I had so many plans for last year. I was supposed to go drag race some snowmobiles for Busted Knuckles Racing, Al Jekyll. That got put on hold. I had plans for a YouTube series, like all the stuff that we had in the works for the last couple of years that I've been too busy trying to make some money to afford to do this cool projects for me. Everything got put on hold. So basically my stepkids and boyfriend moved in around March last year and we started a hobby farm. We got chickens and goats. I've got a baby horse coming in the fall. We went all hardcore, basically just relax mode. We're going to have animals and have a big garden and do the homesteading life for a while.
That's neat. Were you from a farm when you were younger, or is this something that is very new to you?
My mom's best friend had a great big like farm with cows and gardens, and I always loved it. And we had a small thing going with a garden, and my neighbors had cows, and I had a horse growing up, so a little bit here and there. But My dream is to eventually be off grid on a couple 100 acres and the whole like cool homesteading life.
Right on. Andy, what you got for animals on your farm?
One just returned from Florida.
Ooh.
Yeah, I have a 17-year-old money pit. 20-year-old, yeah, no critters. We've been trapping a few skunks and rabbits and groundhogs.
Yep. They're always
Yeah.
a pest.
I can't believe Diane hasn't made you become a farmer yet. It's going to happen, I think.
No, I'm too old to be a farmer now.
It's never too old. It's so awesome. We're loving it.
I think that's a nice way to relax. So I don't know. You remember my dad's garden, Andy? Like, do you remember how big my dad's gardens were? Were you ever around that in that era?
Yeah, but you contributed a lot. You were always out there working in the garden, weeding and sowing.
No, I pretty much ate everything before it was ready. We ate all the carrots one time, but I want to put another garden in like that. Mom said she'd buy me the rototiller if I did it and put another garden in, but I don't know the first thing about gardening. And I'm a country boy, Shelby. Yeah.
Oh, it's not too difficult. If I can grow stuff, I got like 620 plants in my living room, dining room right now.
Yeah. Oh, wow. I can't grow anything though. That's our problem. We can't grow grass or tulips or the stuff
Gary,
that
you posted a video not too long ago about some products that were growing.
Oh, yes, that's right. That wasn't on my farm, but that was a farm we Andy's talking about riding. We were riding along a rail line, an abandoned rail line that we used to go through it all the time, and it was a pot farm. And the guy wasn't too pleased. And earlier, the guy Al I was riding with, he was telling me about a year prior to that, him and another guy getting escorted out with a shotgun. And so I'm driving up, and I'm like, oh, yeah, there's skids of pot, and then irrigation lines and holes and
red flag.
Yeah, and then I see the trailer, and I'm going, oh, this is the spot. And then the guy gets out of his car, and I was like, oh, what can you do except be nice, right? Just played stupid, and away we go. Yeah. So Matthew Nicholson says, hey, Gary, I'll see some more moto vlogs, and is Gopher getting an upgrade on their Pee-wee track? Do you know if Gopher is upgrading their Pee-wee track, Andy?
I don't think so. I think they put they topped everything up, and I think I drove by there the other night, and it looks like everything's just put back to normal. They've added some berms around the place so that I suspect it's a sound berms, and so that it's hard to see in from the road. But I don't know if they've upgraded the Pee-wee track to anything different than what they used to have.
Yeah, I think he said he was working on that electric, the little wee track with the electric bikes.
Yeah,
I believe that's what he was putting some effort into. So it'll be great. But yeah, oh yeah, I'll get some more moto vlogs out there, Matthew, and I'm going to go for me, Andy, and Wyatt, and we're gonna get Cal from OGs there, and we're gonna have some fun. Right?
Nice. It's awesome. They got an awesome setup there. I've been lucky enough to do a couple things there for both motocross and the side-by-sides, and yeah, that's a sweet spot. I wish it was.
Yeah, I can't wait to do the trails. Like, I've been watching a lot of videos. Like, there's not a lot of good videos out there on the trails, but I've been watching the ones that are there, and they're usually MX guys riding them. But it'll be neat to take a dual sport in there and really let her rep, right? And the ATV. So if I can it's back to where I was, like I'm a 2-machine person, Shelby, and I never have 2 running at the same time. So my quad was down and my bike was going, and we got the quad back. And thanks, big shout out to Adam Yent from MotoWorks. He got my quad running mint, and pretty much the day it was ready to pick up. My son comes back on my bike, and it needs some clutch work now. So yeah.
Did you get it apart, Gary?
Not yet. I think it is the fibers though, like we talked. I do believe that. So it's an easy fix if it is. I'm just worried about getting parts.
I know a guy who was going through a clutch every 3.5 hours.
Wyatt?
Yeah.
Holy.
Yeah, we had to do some upgrades on his bike when he was in Texas there.
Now, can you buy beefier clutches than what
We
would
put
be
a
on that bike?
whole new aftermarket clutch system in. But I run stock fibers and steels, and Wyatt's learning the secret of sanding fibers or sanding steels to get additional wear out of them.
Yeah, scuff them up. Doesn't it make them grip a bit better too? Like make it shift a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, nice. Well, this is Shelby's show, not yours, Andy. Come on.
Okay. Sorry.
Give me a break.
What are you riding now, Shelby?
COVID.
Yeah.
I just sold my quad.
You hear she's got goats. She's got goats. So riding that.
But I sold my Skidoo, my XRS a couple years ago, and I went old school. I was really missing the vintage feel, so I went and bought a 2000 MXZ Millennium Edition. It's the cool chrome and black one. My dad had one when I was growing up, and it was my favorite sled ever. So I picked that bad boy up, and now we're gonna trip it out to do some drag racing, and I get to buy some new sleds and new ATVs in the upcoming years.
That's cool. I know you were out of snowmobiling there, and then you posted that picture on Sledcore Militia, I believe it was. And I never seen a happier person than that photo. It was like, here's Shelby's ridden everything and anything, and here she is on this old classic, and it's like she's like beaming ear to ear. It was unbelievable.
Oh, right. Well, that's what it used to be. I mean, it got to the point where like trails were boring on an XRS. Like I was constantly trying to find snow, and just, you take an old vintage back on the trails, and it's like those groomed trails now feel like a friggin' rally race across country. Like you feel every whoop and everything. And it was so cool to go back and throw a leg over a vintage sled. So I'm definitely going to keep it for a while and do some trail riding like that. And maybe in a couple of years, I'll pick up, one of those Lynx Boondockers or something.
Oh, nice. Yes. That's a fun sled.
Oh, yeah.
It really is. Yeah. So, did you ride a Lynx yet?
Unfortunately, I was supposed to go down to the Cove in Muskoka area and get a test drive on, but my stepson got sent home from school sick, and we had to do the COVID test. And
Oh, no.
Unfortunately, and then it rained like 3 days later, so we didn't have any snow to ride. So I'm on the list for first thing next season.
That's good. Yeah, we were talking to John Luke, and he says, when do you want to ride? And I said, as soon as possible. And it was like Monday, and it was like Wednesday, and I was on it. And then maybe we're on a Tuesday. Wait a minute. It was right afterwards anyway. And it was like, then winter ended. So we had that little window of opportunity, but glad I did.
Quarantining.
Glad I did, but I also got to ride the XRS with the R Motion X, which was unbelievable. Really loved that sled, and I was all hell bent on a 600R, but it got me back into wanting an 850 again. So that's kind of what my sights are set on. I can't wait for this fall.
That's so funny, right? Oh, it's always the debate, you want to be lightweight. I always looked at it as I want to be able to race it, and I can't race like snowcross or cross country with the 850. Like, of course, a couple years ago things are changing, but it was always like, what do I do? Do I get the big horsepower, or do I get a 600?
Oh, I know, and that's the thing. I always say it's more fun to ride a small sled fast than it is to ride a fast sled slow. And
I love the old like that. The citation.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. What's your formula? It's a 500, is it, or what is it?
I have a citation. I got like the 370 citation, and then the MXZ's a 700.
Oh, it's a 700. Yeah, it's a twin though, right? That was a twin.
Yes. Yeah. Unfortunately, it wasn't the triple. So.
No, you don't want the triple. And the 700 twin's a good motor. So.
Oh, so like I'm trail riding it. I'm planning to drag race. So of course, anyone who drag races wants to get their hands on a triple.
Yeah. Now I'm looking at this photo, Shelby. It looks like Aspen, Colorado.
That's at X Games.
Right on.
Wayne Davis, very famous photographer, one of my big idols. He happened to take a picture of me and send it to me. So I was pretty stoked.
That's awesome.
Oh, yeah.
And here we go. We got him.
Tara Cross behind the scenes. That's me literally taking a selfie with my giant camera. It was pretty funny. Everyone was laughing at me, but I got Chris Brandt in the background, so I got the shot.
Yeah, how did you capture that? That's incredible.
Every time someone came around the corner, I'm doing the click, 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 click.
That's awesome.
Oh yeah.
Tell me about your photography equipment. Is it trade secret or can you divulge what you're using?
No, I run Canon. I'm big on Canon. Mostly do the shutter speed. It's a super fast camera. I know a lot of people like Nikon. They do great for color. I've always been a Canon. I love my Canon. A couple main lenses, like I run a 70-200 is pretty much my mainstay. I lucked out and picked up a 200-400 a couple of years ago, so that was really neat because now I can actually stand where it's a little safer to get some of the shots.
Nice. Does it slow down the aperture or anything when you use a bigger lens like that, or is it pretty fast?
It depends. I definitely did not sink the thousands and thousands of dollars into the better setups. So yeah, I lose a little bit of aperture. So I stick to my 70-200 because I can get down to that like 2.8, and I really like to shoot low like that. So you have that nice blurred background, and that's where skill really comes into it because you have a very small focus area, and that's what I like to ace.
Yeah, cool. Where did you learn photography? Did you go to school, or is it just self-taught?
I basically started just teaching myself, watched a few videos online and just experienced and practiced it. Taking action shots, really 10 years ago, there wasn't anything I could watch on YouTube or read about doing that specifically. It was always action sports, skateboards and stuff, but there was nowhere that said how to take a picture of a snowmobile going, 100 miles an hour past you. So it was practice and time. And then I went to college after I finished university and took a couple courses there for journalism. And there was a photography course. My teacher basically at that point just told me to come write the exams. I could leave because I knew too much by that point.
You're teaching the class kind of thing, right?
Oh, it teased me. We had like an exam and we were in Photoshop and I'm like removing the background and I'm in like zoomed in all the way to the pixels. And the teacher straight out calls me, well, you don't have to make it that perfect. I'm like, that's what I'm here to do.
That's awesome. Yeah, well, journalism's not like sports photography where it has to be perfect, right?
Exactly. Yeah. I was just like, well, if you're going to do it right. Like,
yeah. What would you say is the hardest thing to shoot?
Snowmobiles at -35 and colder. Yeah.
Is it an equipment issue or is it
everything? I've been so cold that my cameras have shut down. They wouldn't even turn on at a couple of the places, but like you just get so cold and it can be so dreary, especially if it's like one of those dust days where you're just getting a face full of ice crystals and they melt on you and then they freeze. And yeah, I think that's probably that. And then like those like +50 days at the motocross track when it's all dust. I'm really torn on which one's worse.
Really? It's Andy's the dust guy. He likes the dust.
It used to drive me crazy, the heat, because I'm from the north and I shoot snow and that's like my thing. So I go down and shoot motocross and I bake and you get dirt up your nose everywhere and it's not fun, but I enjoy it at the same time. So it's one of those. It's like the bigger the dirt clog out of your nose is, the more fun you've had that day.
Is that true, Andy?
Oh, I'll tell you, I felt bad for the I feel bad for the photographers and the people that support the program. 2019 in Tennessee at Loretta Lynn's in Tennessee, it wasn't the hottest year, and the whole week, being from Canada, it was so bloody hot. I don't know how people can stand it. And people who have been to Loretta's before us said, it's not hot. It's got room for 10 or 15 degrees hotter and more humidity. So it's crazy. And then I can relate to that cold. I remember being in Yellowknife. My mom lived in Yellowknife, and essentially everything's frozen. And I'd take the heat over the cold. That's my option. That's why we're dirt bikes and I haven't had snowmobiles since the 90s, early 90s.
Yeah. Now your beard though, Andy, is that your dust filter?
No, this is, I've got it a little bit blonde right now. It's the COVID blonde.
Yeah. You're going with the blondes have more fun motto,
exactly.
are you?
Yeah. But on the same scale, it's like a good mud race. I don't know, Shelby, if you've, the other one that I feel bad for is watching people waddle through the mud in a real good muck fest as well.
Oh yeah, there's a photo in this of me covered in mud at one of the Terra Cross races in South Carolina. That was just, it was so gross. It was so bad. The mud actually stained my hair at the end of the day. Oh, it was just like, but yeah, mud. Yeah, Minnedosa was bad in 2019 too. Minnedosa was a mud fest for the Triple Crown series. I had garbage bags taped to my legs. And then a rain jacket and everything over top. And I was walking around with a big bag over me with like the hole cut from my camera.
Oh, jeez.
I felt so bad for the riders. They were just falling over because their bikes were so laden with friggin' mud. It was brutal.
Have you ever destroyed any equipment from weather?
I've fallen on my camera equipment, like getting out of vehicles on ice, and like I've dented cameras that apparently are not supposed to dent. So that's a new one. But other than that, I've been pretty lucky. The only lens I broke is basically it fell off a shelf, unfortunately, and broke.
Oh no, isn't that the case, eh?
No, of course, right?
Yeah. You can drop it from the top of a jump and it doesn't, and it survives, but it rolls off a shelf, lands 6 inches below, and it's smashed. So
yeah.
Yeah. Do you have any stories with your artwork on your arm there?
Of course, always. It's not done yet. So
let me get you full screen here.
Of course.
There we go.
It's a work in progress. I just haven't really had time. So there's roses and gears and a piston and
that's awesome.
I have a piston here and it's got 3 race numbers on it. So number 129, my dad decided that if I can snowcross race, so can he. So he jumped on a snowmobile and started racing. So I added him. And then my best friend, Mr. Random Ryan Tarrant, who you just had on here earlier, he's on here, 60. And then my friend Rob Gavell, who like taught me how to jump and do a bunch of stuff for snowcross, he's on here too, number 330. So yeah, it's kind of just my tribute to being a gearhead and also a girl with the roses and the pretty side. Eventually, it's gonna go up and maybe back. We'll see.
Cool. That's cool. Yeah, Ryan met a couple of my buddies this winter. One of the last rides of the year, they were at the Jolly Roger, and they were shooting the shit. And Ryan noticed. I don't know whether you noticed their shirt or I forget how the story went. But then Ryan's like, "You don't Gary," and they go, "You don't Gary," and it's like, "Yeah, tell him I'm Random Ryan." So I got a text from George going, "You know this Ryan guy?" I'm going, "Yeah."
It's crazy how small the world it really is. Like it's the motorsport
sure.
world. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Random Ryan's way more famous than I am, so I'm honored to be compared.
There you go. You guys kind of look alike too. You both got the bald and the glasses going. You guys could be twins.
Oh, yeah.
You could go with each other for Halloween.
Yeah, we could. For sure. Except Andy's biceps the size of my belly.
I was just thinking about that mud comment and discoloring your hair. I was wondering if it would discolor Gary's hair.
Probably. That South Carolina clay was pretty crazy.
Yeah, it's like maybe I could use it to exfoliate.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah. My skin did pretty good after that.
We have that picture. Andy actually wears a hat with a fake hair on it, though.
I do.
You probably hey, there's the picture we're talking about.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah,
right there. Actually, those legs look like Andy's legs. Actually, he skipped leg day at the gym.
Yeah, exactly.
That's perfect. Oh yeah, that was a crazy day. It was funny. I got splashed because you know, you can only look in so many directions at once. Well, I was shooting them coming around one of the corners. The finish line was behind me. It was one of those great big metal ones. Turns out someone collided with it and it fell like 3 feet from me. And when it landed, it splashed me, and that's the results. So.
Oh my God. Have you ever been injured shooting?
Only once, knock on wood, have I actually been hit by anything. One of the snowmobilers came off the Snowcross track in Quebec, and I trust all the riders, you know, like you're not supposed to panic. Like if you see something coming at you, you need to stand still. So luckily I didn't panic, and he literally like came to a stop, touched my foot, but because I had so much gear on, it threw me off weight and I fell over.
Oh, jeez.
It was so funny because everyone's like, "Oh my God, she's been hit. Is she okay?" And I'm like, I literally just tipped over because it put me off balance. Like,
Because of the weight. That's awesome.
it was
Random Ryan's laughing. He says, Gary and I could be twins. Love you all. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think we could pull that off, you know.
I don't know. Come to Heydays. We'll see.
Yeah, that's right. I'd love to go to Heydays. That'd be a riot. Maybe I'll get an invite down there this year. Who knows?
Oh, absolutely. Hey, for sure.
I'll be like, now that Larry and Teister's, you know, lost his 15 minutes of fame, it's expired. Maybe I'll be the guy.
There you go. Absolutely.
Yeah. This is beautiful. Where's this?
That's Horseshoe Valley, just north of Barrie in Ontario. Usually where we do the finale for the Snowcross series.
Nice. Your Photoshop skills are good because that looks like it's in Quebec.
It's a great spot. Yeah, they've got a beauty ski hill there, and it's one of my favorite tracks to race. It's actually where we usually get to race the vintage races too, so it's definitely one of my favorites.
Yeah, that's sweet. And do you have a tech vest on underneath the jacket?
Oh yeah, absolutely. They won't let you on the track if you're not wearing one.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. My buddy James, he was doing photography a few years ago and borrowed my tech vest to shoot at Chicopee for one of the races. Jacob Fight was the racer, and yeah, you know Jake, right?
Yep, small. I'd say small world, but yeah, I did Snowcross for I was probably there for about 6 years. So
yeah, for sure. No, I helped Jake out with the sled wrap and trailer graphics, and he's from town here, so he's a good kid.
Oh, of course,
and, yeah, passionate about the sport as well. So
yeah.
And then this looks like another mountain range here too, right?
Yeah, that was out in BC. I'm thinking it was Kamloops. That was quite a while ago. Yeah, that was like 2016 back then. That was the one event I made it out for. It was pretty awesome. I worked for the mobile app companies that was live streaming the events. I was their marketing director again, and it was pretty sweet. I liked it.
That's cool. So when you go out, is it work, or you get some time to explore as well?
It's usually work. I mean, now that I'm ahead in my career, I can actually make the time. So I will say, you know, like I'll leave a day before and I'll get to do a little bit of touring and seeing some stuff. But I mean, back the first beginning there, it was not. It was fly out, get everything done. I'm usually writing and working while I'm on an airplane. Can attest many a times coming back from Snowcross races, I'd have a blanket over my head in the back seat and I'd be writing the press releases and editing photos the whole drive home, middle of the night. Usually from Heydays, I stay up, Ryan, and I usually drive down to Heydays and come back together. So he usually drives en route back, and then I'll stay up the entire next day on the Monday to edit and get photos done and shipped back off, and then not sleep until Monday night.
Wow.
So there's work involved. It's lots of fun, but there's definitely work.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, well, you earned it. That's for sure.
I like to think I have by now. But always more. There's always lots of things to do. So it's always good to keep working the effort and rocking the cool stuff, because it's just, there's so many more places to go and so many more things to do. There's another one from RJ Motorsports when they had the national there a couple years ago. That was sweet. I believe that was my very first national motocross race that I got to photograph, and that was a beautiful day.
Nice. That's RJ Motorsports. Where's that, Motor Park?
No, it's just north of Barrie. I don't believe they have any nationals there anymore. It's just a practice track and a regional area. But they had one a couple years ago. I was out shooting Redemption Racing at the time. Dave and Ange, these are my two favorite photographer buddies.
That's awesome.
It's just so cool to have photography friends, and my boyfriend Morgan is here too. He's with me. This was the first event that he got to come out to and see what I do firsthand. It was just actually last year in Ottawa for the motocross race, and it was so cool. It's nice. These two are my favorite people to shoot with. So anytime I can't go to something, I send Dave and Ange from Glass Blows Media out to do it for me. I get to send them out. They do all like the summer snowmobile drag races and stuff out by Ottawa. And anything I need help with in the wintertime. They shot Snowcross for me for a couple of years when I was too busy to go. And yeah, they're just awesome friends, and I can't wait for COVID to be done so we can get back to shooting together.
That's cool. I love that Steadicam rig he's got there. That's amazing.
Oh, he's a wicked videographer. It's been so cool watching his work like progress. I brought him in as just like my apprentice originally for photography, and kind of helped him and got him going there, and just he's a force to be reckoned with the camera in his hands now.
Nice. Yeah. And she's got a huge telephoto on that, on the one she's holding too.
Exactly. Yeah, they run on the Canon side too.
Yeah, that's sweet. And is your boyfriend a photographer as well, or is he just holding the camera trying to make it look good?
Learning. He learned. So he took a bunch of pictures that day too, and he's been a natural. He's taken pictures here and there, and it was his first real event, and absolutely loved it, and I was pretty impressed. So I know I got a backup photographer when I need it.
That's cool. Well, you can't teach composition, right? You can buy the most expensive camera, and my friend Mike Carty can outshoot you with his iPhone. He's a photographer as well.
Yeah.
But Muskoka Mike can outshoot you with his iPhone. He's even better with a real camera.
Well, it's crazy with the way technology has gone. I mean, we saw a huge drop in business the last few years just because people have cell phones and everything. Like, I see pictures that look, decent quality, but you're like, oh, the angle's all off, or like just, you don't have that professional touch.
Yeah. Yeah, you can't teach that. It's tough, and especially moving targets too.
Oh, I luck out with coming from the racing and the riding background. Like, I can watch a track and I can see where things are dissolving, where there's going to be accidents or where riders are struggling. And I can actually see it because I've done it. And a lot of people don't, unfortunately, have that experience. So that's kind of one thing that's really helped me make it easier to learn how to photograph this stuff, is just having the experience of doing it.
Yeah, on the right side of the track versus the opposite side, especially on corner approaches and exits, is I've seldom see a great picture of a bike or a sled or an ATV going away from you. They're always coming towards you or diving into a corner. It's an art.
Exactly. That's always my killer. I'm always trying to find those shots where you can get like the dirt thrown at your face, but the tire's also in focus. And like you tend to, as a photographer, and like you nitpick, and you'll sit there and I'll like take 60 shots in the same corner just because I'm trying to get that one photo where it's actually perfectly in focus.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah.
Like a fan boat. I haven't seen a fan boat in forever.
This is a hovercraft, actually.
Oh, it's a hovercraft. Even better.
So pretty cool. Since I basically started my business in 2013, I've been doing a lot of stuff with Ontario tourism, like What a Ride, Northeastern Ontario, all over the place, doing a bunch of different stuff. So one of the first shoots I got to do is this one, and we actually had Letitia Klein, she's a model, and Amy Hood, motocross racer, come down to Parry Sound, and I got to show them my backyard. So we went out in the hovercraft, we went out in an airplane, we went dirt biking and ATVing. It was just a blast. It was super cool.
That is awesome. I've heard the name Amy Hood before. I'm not sure if it was a YouTube video or what. Would she be in one of Ryan's videos?
Probably not Ryan.
I'm trying to think. I think Elon Musk just froze Shelby up on us.
I don't know what the internet's doing, Gary, but tonight's the absolute worst I've ever seen it.
Yeah, wow. Shelby's on Starlink.
Is it me? Have I been glitchy? Because I'll email Elon.
Yeah, you give him a what have it. You know, he owes you an electric car now.
Oh, exactly. Oh, thanks, Gary.
Yeah, yeah. You can be bought, right?
Yeah, certain.
My internet glitched. You owe me a Tesla.
There we go.
Yeah, and not one of those cyber trucks either. You know, you've got standards.
Oh, they were kind of cool. That's the one that kind of was like twisting my arm there. I was pretty curious. I got a couple people on my Facebook that have pre-ordered them, so I'm curious.
I wonder when they're going to get them. Like in 10 years, 15 years, never.
Who knows?
Yeah. He does a good job of that. There we go. This is I took your name off of there. Oh, my name's covering up your thing there. But
no,
Wicked Perry Sound.
There you go. So that's that's the ATV shot from that day. It was pretty cool. I was riding Hondas. We were at Quad Tours in Perry Sound. Yeah.
That's cool. Say hello to November. How do you keep them so clean?
The photographers were making sure they did all like the end shots before we went in the mud.
Oh, nice. Float planes. I like float planes too.
Yeah, they were fun. That was really cool. It was like my first real like on camera, so I was pretty nervous the whole time. I laugh. I go back and like watch the video from when it was made, and I giggle. It's like, oh, I was so shy and scared. Like you're still always nervous, but like it helps.
Was it an Ontario Tourism video, or what was the video for?
Yeah, it was Ontario Tourism. I think MXP actually had it in their magazines eventually too. I'm trying to remember what it was called back then. Oh my goodness. Yeah, that was a long time ago.
Do you fly, Shelby?
Pardon?
Do you fly? Are you a float plane pilot?
No, not at all. I've been up twice in an airplane. They're pretty cool. I wanted to get my pilot's license, and then I discovered how long and how costly, and then I figured I'd just rather go race side by sides or something.
There isn't enough risk in flying, is there?
No, at one point I debated about joining the military, and I wanted to fly. I wanted to be a fighter pilot. And then I learned you needed to also be an engineer, and I'm not that good at math.
Yeah, it's tough to drive trains too. And how could they make you drive trains and then get in an airplane?
Right.
Get it. Yeah. So, you know, Terry Tupac says Shelby for Tesla media manager. LOL. There you go. That's what he's on to do.
Didn't we have a long conversation about Tesla last podcast?
Yeah, we did. Yeah. So you actually enlightened me on the snowmobile part, though. About I actually stole some of your thoughts on that, where you said about the big drawback to electric snowmobiles is charging stations, right? You won't go up to Ma and Pa gas station up in Timbuktu and find a charging station.
Oh, I can only imagine the drama at Abitibi Canyon if they had to put in an electrical. All the people would be complaining. The hydro.
Yeah, right. Don't they make hydro up there? It should be a no-brainer, right?
Right, you should be able to plug in at the dam.
Exactly. Yeah. You have this little device that you stick in a creek, and it spins and it generates power, and you can charge it up anywhere.
Whoa. You might wanna like look into that there. That's a good idea.
Couple of months later, you'll get a charge.
That's right.
Good thing I can build a cabin and hunt my own food.
That's right, exactly. Just make sure you have some good waterproof matches when you go. So, yeah, we got a. This is a G-Force. This is the CF Moto, right?
Yes, yeah. So this is a C-Force 400. Really cool. I got to shoot with Ontario Tourism. They did a thing in Barry's Bay, and we stayed at the Pinewood Inn. So it was the perfect little spot. They had like towels in the room specifically for you to clean your ATV, and just like super, super motorsports friendly. It was a wicked spot, and that was a really good ATV. I had a good time riding around on that 400. Most people were making fun of it for being little, and it was a blast to ride.
Yeah, nice and light, right?
Exactly. Oh yeah, it floated in a stream at one point. So yeah, nice and light with me on it.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I don't think it would float in a stream with me on it. I'm not sure about that. But
Winter.
is that your oldie land? That is awesome.
No, unfortunately, a friend of ours. We have a really close family friends, the Haskams and Tiffany's and Laval's and Andy and Wendy Kennedy and a whole bunch of people, Rudkins, all this huge group of people that used to, some of them are cottagers, some of them are locals. We all get together in the wintertime. We go out in the middle of the lakes, middle of nowhere, and have bonfires and cookouts. The lovely land in the background is used to pull out an outhouse. We actually have an outhouse on skis that comes out, as well as a barbecue on skis that comes out. Great big barbecue, like 4 feet long. It's wicked.
Nice.
So we all, winter has always been a thing of riding and just enjoying time with friends and family. I mean, the bench was literally made that I'm sitting on, well, that day while we were there. It's just it's a great time. We bring dogs out and the kids, and it's what winter is all about.
Oh yeah, I love that. I sold my my Nordic to a guy, and that's with it. And I had the ski boost, and that's what he does with all his buddies. Is they do a vintage ride with the barbecues and everything. Do just what you're doing here. They go to the lake and have a fire and spend the day. And guys bring the guitars, and I was like, it's going to the right place. I'd long to do that. It would be awesome, right?
Oh, exactly. I miss it. That's the thing, like this last winter. And when I'm busy in the wintertime too, like with Snowcross series, I was never home. Like I always miss winters. So I didn't do a lot of sledding. And I look forward to hopefully this winter having some more downtime to do that kind of stuff again.
Yeah, nice. I'm saying hopefully you do, right? And this, I've seen this picture a lot. I love it. I didn't realize it was you. I've seen the photo before, but I didn't know that was you. That's my
mutt. Yeah, that's my Sambuca. She's 8 now, but right from the get-go, she's been on everything. She used to ride on the dirt bike with me, side by sides, ATVs. She's been in a hovercraft as well, actually. She's basically done it all. I got to get her up in an airplane though before she passes. That's my one goal, is an airplane or a helicopter ride for her.
That's awesome.
Yeah, she's fun. That picture's taken up in Cochrane. We actually did the whole 300-kilometer loop with her up to the Abitibi and back. It was amazing. Yeah.
How cold was it then? Was it not that cold out, or does the dog not care?
Yeah, we waited till I think it was the beginning of March. So with the speeds that you travel, you have to take, of course, into the consideration the temperatures. So it was basically like a -10 day. We stuck around 40 kilometers an hour. It was definitely a long trip, but it was pretty cool to be able to say we took her with us.
That's cool, and everybody loved it. Like no one had any. Yeah.
It was everywhere. There's a video on YouTube, and like people are like waving, and like there's a couple groups that like raced ahead of us to go further up when we passed them to like get pictures of her going by. And it was a really big hit at Abitibi too, because she got out. It was tons of people. Of course, there's always so many people there, so everyone's staring at you as you're driving in with a dog on your lap. Like, so
yeah, like they probably thought you found it on the trail. There you are at the base.
There you go, exactly. Yeah, she made it all the way up there. And my dad had made this cool seat that actually fit over top of our gas cans, so she could sit or lay down if she needed to. And we both had the XRS, so we just swapped it back and forth between us for the ride.
That is cool. Yeah, is it like a bigger flat platform? Is it that goes over the gas tank? Yeah, nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Andy, I don't know that you know where this is, but you can't pretty much go further north than this on a sled.
Oh yeah, not by trail. You got to go up to Moosonee from there, and that's all backcountry riding.
Yeah, so this dog's seen the province. This dog's been more places than I have on a snowmobile.
She has. So when I worked with CF Moto, she actually came with me a lot of the time. So she stayed in hotels from Sarnia all the way over to Ottawa, up to Cochrane. So she was my big travel buddy.
That's cool.
I love that.
There's Ryan.
I was going to say, that's random Ryan there. And is that your dad too?
That is my dad. Yes, we the 4 of us also went up and did another ride to Abitibi for Ontario Tourism, and we actually stayed at camp with the guys up there, and site with Mike and his uncle and see what it takes to run Abitibi from that side. So it was pretty cool.
That's cool. No, they're having some issues right now, aren't they? Like he's having some trouble deciding whether to keep it going or not.
It's so tough up there. They're so remote, and unfortunately, like you see the snowmobile industry the way it's going. So many people are complain first. That's the main thing. They just complain about everything. They make it hard for them. It's hard. They're in the middle of nowhere. They got to bring gas and food and everything in. And I mean, Michael's there 24/7 in the wintertime. It's hard mentally. I know Halfway Haven as well, over by Wawa there is having problems too. I think they're closed for the season, and that actually closes quite a few 100 kilometers worth of our snowmobile trails in Ontario. So we really need to.
That's another really one that yeah.
Hey, if this winter is good, we all need to go up north and support those places that we like to ride so that they can stay open.
We do, for sure. Have you heard if numbers have been way down from previous years? Like, I mean, it seemed to me that the beginning of the season was quite busy, but I didn't really see much of a difference by the end of the year in the areas I ride. Do you think it took a hit this year?
It's hard to say. I mean, with COVID the way it was, I mean, we definitely had a shortened season, so I can't imagine it not hurting. I mean, I did like 120 kilometers myself. That's it. And I live, there's a snowmobile trail at the end of my driveway. So it was quite a hard season, I think, for everybody.
Yeah.
My sister went to Cochrane a couple of times, and I think a lot of the local guys in the Waterloo region were able to go a little further north as opposed to having making the big trek up north because there was a little more snow this year.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, in the south there was more snow for once.
We really don't want motocross guys. We really prefer the snow to be up north.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, I haven't seen trails like we had here in 30 years, you know.
Yeah.
Pretty crazy. You have always have a nice wrap on your sleds. Are you going to wrap your new one?
Most of mine have not been wraps, actually.
What are they, just sticker bombs?
Nope, that's a Sharpie.
Seriously, that's pretty cool.
Sled. Yeah, I had a friend of mine is an artist, and she went to town with different Sharpies. So between oil paint Sharpies and regular Sharpies. And we did that like a wrap. Yeah, so it looks like a wrap, but all those panels are hand done. And the
Wonder Woman tribute right here.
Oh yeah, it was cool coming up with ideas on what to put in it. It was pretty crazy. And the sled before was actually a plasti dip design that I had done.
Right on. And then what do you do when you sell them? People actually buy them like that, or do you actually put different panels on them?
It depends. So like, unfortunately, I had a falling out with the artist that did the Sharpie sled. So I actually removed all of the artwork from the white panels. So yeah, girls, come on.
That's right, exactly. And then you made up in a week later and you're out there with a pen redrawn it.
No. So yeah, I sold it with the plasti dip on it to another girl who absolutely loved it. I had a couple wraps on it before that, so the wraps had sold with them, but I basically just sell them as they are. Sometimes it's a little bit harder to find someone who wants them, but usually there's a girl or two screaming somewhere that wants a hands on it. So
yeah, it's so unique, right?
Well, they're cool. So I entered them in the Toronto Snowmobile Show. They have the custom booth every year. So that sled placed, I think that one tied for second because I didn't vote and I lost by 1 vote. So yeah, I think that one was second, and then the one before that was first, and then one of my other race sleds got a first as well. So it's something I kind of enjoy doing, is pimping out my rides on a budget.
Yeah, that's right. That's pretty cool. Yeah.
Cool.
And a quick part. Yeah. So one of the other cool places I've got to go, I've been up in Dubreuilville. that was awesome. Got to see the Quickie Mart and Luke Levesque, the groomer guy. That's what we know him by.
Yeah,
so
the groomer guy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that Luke there?
Yep, first.
Right on.
Yeah. Oh, we had to stop by and say hi.
That's cool. That's cool. Is that your plasti dip sled there, or is that the wrap?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's the plasti dip one. Yeah.
That's wild.
Oh,
so you taped those lines in and then painted it and then peeled the tape off?
Oh man, it was ridiculous. One of the cool textured ones is like a netting I found off of something else that I like put down and like sprayed truck bed liner. The black stuff is truck bed liner to give it like texture and like the cool. It was quite the learning process as I did it, but it turned out cool. So
Wow. And it's got a purple tunnel. Is that plastic dip as well?
no, in order to get the purple, I had to use a graffiti paint. So it's a high temp graffiti paint that I managed to find at a cool store in the city.
Yeah, yeah. Actually, Greg from Sometimes Now says, I wonder why the groomer guy didn't do videos this season. I was thinking the same thing. He was fairly quiet this year.
Yeah, it's true. I'm not sure what was going on.
Maybe
Yeah.
we have the same internet I do.
Well, and
Yeah,
they weren't
maybe.
opening trails up there, right? So I know that like they hadn't really bothered doing too much. So he probably just wasn't out on the trails.
Yeah, yeah. Well, he had a podcast going as well. I wasn't sure if the guy that was helping him with that was on to different things or what was happening there. But I should get him on in the wintertime on the
Yeah,
on the
absolutely.
snowmobile side. So,
He's
yeah,
legendary in Ontario.
yeah, absolutely is for sure. Great guy.
Oh yeah, so there's Duke when I raced for CF Moto. That was the machine I got to race. It's pretty cool.
Oh, lucky you. That's neat. And that was an
Oh.
800, you said?
Pardon?
That's
Yeah,
an
there's
800?
Yeah, their stock 800. It was pretty sweet. It was a cool machine at the time, and being brand, no one really knew what CF Moto was back then either. So it was pretty cool to have a firsthand chance to drive them, race them.
Would you race it against the Polaris 800?
We raced it against everything Can-Am. It was an open class for the 800s, and then all the machines, including the 1000s and the turbos, were on the track at the same time. So literally, it was pretty neat to. I felt really slow though when I'm in like the 800 and I got my foot to the bar, and then you just see like a 1000 turbo, like whoa! Wait for me.
Have you ever driven a sport side-by-side, Andy? I know you've driven a lot of utility ones.
I've not had the opportunity. I'm thinking that if I go golfing again, this is going to be my golf cart.
Absolutely, it's perfect.
Yeah, you won't get kicked off the course at all, Andy.
Well,
Not at all.
I won't ride on the greens, but I think that's the great opportunity is to go golfing with like the Wildcats and these big bore side by sides. There's probably good reason that I don't drive one.
Yeah, I think so.
They got roll cages for a reason. They got roll cages. You're good.
Yeah.
Roll cages, yeah, and lines of credit.
Yeah. There's room for a 9-iron and a putter. That's all you need, right?
Yeah.
For golfing.
I'd love to do some trails in them. I just I'm not sure if I want to fix them afterwards. No,
that's right.
Oh, right. And the bigger the machine, the longer it takes to get the mud out of it too.
Oh,
yeah. How stable is that one? I drove the Maverick Trail and it was pretty tippy, but I was in a full Maverick and it was like you could spin it sideways, and it wouldn't.
Oh yeah, the full size is just not comparable to the shortened side. I know like the Can-Ams are pretty good on the Defenders and whatnot for trail size. I didn't find them too bad. I mean, it's as soon as you narrow it, it's going to feel tippier, but I'm pretty good at like adapting to everything as I'm driving and learning. I've been pretty lucky with that. So I kind of just adjust for everything and don't really notice.
Yeah. How many races have you done in a side-by-side? A lot? Was it a season or was it just a mess?
No, that was a 1 weekend go. And then the Polaris was just a 1 dayer as well. So, or 2 days. I think it was 2 days possibly. So maybe 5 races.
Oh, that's good though.
I actually got to race a what do you call it? A off-road Jeep.
Yes, we got a picture of that. Which
Yeah,
I want to talk. Yes.
Yeah, it was pretty
awesome.
cool. I'm trying to think. It was a pink XJ, but I can't remember what year it is. And Amanda's going to kill me for not remembering what year it was. But an Aldi.
It's cool. It's cool. It's coming up.
Oh yeah.
There you are, giving her.
I'm definitely glad to be with BRP now and back to where it felt weird working for a company when like I'm a diehard and I was always a diehard at the time. Like I'm not buying one of these. I'm a BRP girl. So it was really weird working for a company but I just found the right thing. That's a niche. It's definitely got a place in the market, but Give me my Can-Am.
Yeah, well, I know they were making some waves a few years ago because the products were fairly good. CF Moto, right? And I mean, if it's a value thing, right? You get what you get a lot for what you pay for, but it still doesn't have what the big players have, like Can-Am, you know?
Yeah, like we say, it's definitely it's a price point. There's definitely a niche for it. There's lots of people that's all the machine they need, and then you have a lot of the gearheads and stuff like me. You just need a little more. That's all.
Yeah, yeah. Would you be able to break something like that, or is it fairly? Are you hard? Are you hard on parts, or are you fairly
I
good?
did break them. Yeah, I broke it. The only reason I didn't win first in the 800 class is because I snapped a tie rod and then proceeded to roll it 3 more times because it didn't have a tie rod connected. So, yeah, I've broken a couple things on them. Depends on who you ask, if it was me or the machine, but yeah, I broke it.
That's nice.
That's another beauty shoot. Yeah, I got to go out to BC for them, and yeah, that's usually how you see me. Cameras in hand, smile on my face, purple or blonde hair.
Yeah, nice. It's hard not to have a smile when you're in BC.
Oh, right. I know. If there was any other place, if I had to move, I'd move to BC if it was anywhere.
Yeah. You won't be able to leave the farm now.
Oh, there's Buki again, going for a ride.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
and look,
she
you
did.
get your suitcase packed. You get your suitcase packed too.
We did. We stayed at Halfway Haven during the summertime. So we took the CF Moto, my dad's Can-Am, and my boyfriend at the time's Polaris Razor up to Halfway Haven for an adventure, and Buki got to come with me. So it was a blast. It was pretty cool.
No, that would be cool.
Oh, it was neat to see someplace that you see in the wintertime and then to see it in the summertime as well, and ride the same trails, but just so different once the snow melts. It's insane, the difference.
Oh, I know. It's they're unrecognizable. They're so ribbony smooth, and then you go in the summer and it's just like
yeah,
it's a different world. Now, is it on snowmobile trails or the ATV trails? Like, do they care if you're on there in a side by side, or how does it work?
It's a combo. So like up there with that specific trail that went out to Halfway Haven was a mix of like forestry roads, hydro lines, some of the it was all snowmobile trail. There was some old snowmobile trails. We got lost. We took a wrong turn and ended up a day late. But it was a pretty cool adventure. You just got to know where you're going sometimes up north.
Yeah, that's all fun though. You know, we got to do a run like that, Andy. Get the Grizz out and do a run like that.
I took the blade off the Grizz last weekend, so I don't want to get it dirty.
Then put the blade back on then. Yeah,
exactly.
That's a beautiful shot. Where's this?
Absolutely. That was in Sycamoose, BC.
Nice.
I was down there with CF Moto, and it was we got to go. One of the locals that told us about this spot where everyone like goes skydiving or whatever. They jump off with like their suits and off here. So he took us up, and yeah, I mean you can't beat that view. It was pretty scary walking out to the edge though. I'm in bare feet, I think, in this. Yeah,
you are. Yeah.
I'm bare feet because I had to take my shoes off because I was too scared to get close to the edge with my shoes on because I had skater shoes.
Oh geez. Now, is that a bridge? Is that a train bridge, or what? It looks like a platform you're on.
It's just a platform. Yeah, they built it out over the rock ledge so that when they would like jump off of it, they were away from the rocks. So it was like just thousands of feet straight down off that edge, and it was pretty scary, but it was worth the shot.
That is awesome. In Sycamoose.
Yeah. Oh yeah, beautiful.
Really good.
There you go, riding the CF Motos. That was fun. That was the same trip, and I got to meet a lot of cool people working for CF Moto and traveling around and getting to see dealers and meeting all these people. It was really a cool adventure.
Yeah, right on. Do you prefer open face helmet when you're in those side by sides or full face? Like, what's your take on that?
It depends on what I'm doing. So like when I was traveling, I always take the full face motocross helmet with me just because I never know what I'm going to be doing. But if I'm just doing a ride around here on the trails, I'll wear a half helmet, not really be too worried about it. But if I'm actually like going to be riding, I always make sure I'm wearing a heavy duty helmet. Yeah,
protect the face, right?
Exactly. Yeah. So there you go. That's one of the busted knuckles Galaxy sleds. That's one of the bad boys I get to race for them. I raced it a couple of years ago at the Calabogie Hill Climbs. It was an absolute wicked sled, and I think I won the 800 stock class that day.
Right on. So is it a mod? Like, is the engine all done on it, or what?
Mostly stock. I don't know too much about it. Unfortunately, I haven't had time to like learn the technical side all the time. I'm like always in and like learning and trying and like cleaning clutches and learning all that. But man, my brain just doesn't want to tell me everything. I can't know it all.
No.
Fair, right?
They say, here's a tether cord, stick it in and just go like this.
Yeah. Like, let me know if this is a turbo. Do I need to warm anything up? What's the deal? And I'll do it. But if you want to know like what gears need to be in there and what balancing weights are in there, I'm not there yet. Give me another 10 years.
No, that's fine. You don't need to know that. You just need to know your f-stops, and that's it.
Man,
right?
I want it though, right? I want to like, the photography thing seems to be getting slower and slower these days. So maybe I'll replace that knowledge with some mechanical stuff. Yeah,
for sure. There's the Jeep. That's awesome.
So yeah, I mean, it was pretty cool what happened actually. Heinz 57 Racing, they raced the TMR series, and his wife here finally got a new machine to race, and she decided that it was only proper that she invite another female to race in the series. So she put it up and was looking for 2 co-pilots. So I met Amanda, and the pair of us got chosen to race the machine for the summertime on the team. And it was really unreal. Like it was just, I was not what I was expecting whatsoever. The first day out, Amanda at least has had experience. So she's driven stuff like this before. I had a Jeep TJ that was stock as stock can get. So I've never really taken a vehicle off-road. We come up to this giant freaking rock face. I'm not kidding you. It's like this. It's like an 80-degreer. And I'm like, where's the trail? And she's like, right here. I'm like, what do you mean? And then she just goes, oh, what did I do? I thought I could do this. Right? Like, I got there. Thanks to Amanda and the team for believing in me and like going, you can do it. You know, I'm like, hey, I have to now. Like,
so is there jumps with it too, or is it mainly rock climbing and technical stuff?
There's a variation, so it depends on where we were racing. One of the events they had some jumps that we actually had to hit. Other ones were just rock. Some were like tires and boulders and just all kinds of crazy stuff you had to ride over. So it was a real mix. It was pretty cool.
And how many races a year would you do with something like that?
I think I only did 4 of the 5. They only have a few during the summertime, and I did have to miss one, unfortunately, for work.
It looks like it was a 1970. Is that why it says that on the side? Would it have been a 70?
Yes. Yes, it was.
That old?
What?
That looks like the body style from like 5 years ago. They were still running.
It was very, very beat up, but we did a wicked job. Amanda is an awesome mechanic. I was blown away. Like I went down and she's like pulling out the axles and doing all this kind of stuff, and I'm like, whoa, like how badass is this? Like you're wicked.
That's cool. But she doesn't drive them herself, or she did? Yeah. She was.
So we both did. So we swapped out. So like I'd race one lap, and then she'd race the next race, and like we.
Yeah. Is this what? Sorry, we just totally lost you there. Elon Musk pulled the plug.
That's what I said. I'm like, who froze? Was it me?
Yeah, it was you. Yeah. So, but is this what they race at Walton?
Mud bogs?
Yeah.
Yeah, not the mud bogs. We don't go in mud with these as much as humanly possible. They're more like the rock crawlers.
Okay.
They have them down at. There's a new parkway down your way, Andy, that's been doing some of these once a year. They had some side-by-side races and whatnot. I'm trying to think of what it was called.
I was just in my head. I was thinking like Gopher does their mud bog in the bush, and then they've got a couple of But there's the rock climbs. Where have I seen that? They have a cross country race at it as well.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm drawing a blank at where it is. Can't think of it.
I think Minden. Don't they do it in Minden?
Yes, we had one of the rock climbs in Minden. Yep.
Yeah. Because a friend of mine's got an old Land Cruiser, a D101 or FC101 military vehicle that he runs. And, yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah. There's the Razor I got to race. That was so cool. They even had my name and number on it when I showed up. I cried.
You made it, right? That's awesome.
Oh my god.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, and then you should have said, I don't like the color.
Well, I know I laugh because it's an American flag and it's a Razor, and I was working for CF Moto at the time, so I mean they weren't overly pleased with me. But come on, I mean I got an opportunity. I'm gonna take it.
Yeah, exactly. And was it an 800 as well, or is it 1,000?
It was the 1,000.
Nice.
Oh yeah, it was a wicked time. So yeah.
That's cool, and it looks a lot bigger. It looks like the full size one, not the small one that you were in before. That's cool. Was it a big difference to get used to, or is it something that it's kind of intuitive to you?
Yeah, I really I felt so at home right away. I mean, I was hitting some of the jumps and stuff pretty off the bat. I don't know. I feel comfortable in them. So luckily, I'm sure there's lots I can mess up and learn and whatnot, but I feel at home in them. That's for sure.
Yeah, that's funny. You're not driving the Dodge Ram, my Dodge Ram. I'm telling you, if you're comfortable in those. There we go. This is an awesome picture.
There's an action shot. So yeah, that really shows what we're doing and going over.
That's cool.
It was unreal. Like, yeah, it's cool to do it with a teammate as well, because like you work off of each other, and like she's telling me, oh, like go over that way and don't go too far this way, and like, oh, you're hitting a tree.
That's funny.
Oh,
but it's pretty resilient, like as far as damage goes. You guys kept it going. And
yeah, I mean, like you hit them off stuff, you're definitely gonna get scratches and bang, and like, you know, we were joking around because we'd hit a tree and like scraped off some pink paint, and then one of the other racers had gone by and hit the same tree, and the pink paint scraped off that onto their machine. So they definitely take a beating, that's for sure.
I think we can get the Dodge, Gary. I think we can get the Dodge Ram down over that.
There you go. I want to see it.
I don't know. I doubt it. I think
we hit it fast enough.
Yeah, probably.
Oh yeah, get through anything if you hit it fast enough. Isn't that what they always teach us?
Yeah.
When in doubt, give her. You'll end the suspense.
Exactly.
That's exactly. Speed makes up for everything. You know what I'm saying? Just hold on here. I got to plug my camera in. Getting some technical difficulties here.
Gotta love it. It's crazy. I'm so stoked we have it. And like, it's awesome having internet the way I do now, but the more time you spend on technology, there's just more and more that goes wrong.
So in your little town, do you run off a Fire Stick or do you run off the local internet?
I lucked out and got Starlink.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, about 2 months ago, we were one of the first testers in the area, so I've been running off of that, and it's been pretty. I never would have been able to do this before. I've done a couple podcasts, but I've had to like run to people's houses to steal their internet and like drive an hour to find someone who has high speed.
or go sit in the parking lot so you can get better signal.
Yeah, I mean that could work too.
There's a supplier. There's a supplier for my internet. I won't tell you who it is, Bell Canada. That I have a really tough time with where we live because we live sort of in the country.
Yep.
Anyway, and then I've been trying to use this Fire Stick, and it's intermittent. It'll work for a while, and that just drops.
Jeez, yeah.
So,
yeah.
I'm going to go to Gary's when they lift the restrictions. I'm going to set up at Gary's place, and he can set me up in my own little office there.
For sure. Yeah. In the garage. And while you're in there, you might as well turn the wrenches on my bike.
Fix something. Fix something.
Yeah, Andy, come on over, do a live stream. There's the sockets and there's the wrenches, and you know, and here's a box of clutch pieces. Have fun.
I always laugh. You need to get some builds going because that's always how you can score free help. You just go, oh yeah, like we're gonna do this, this, and this. Come put on my exhaust for me.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, when I need an exhaust put on, I'm calling you up. Okay.
Exactly.
Yeah. Who has time for builds? Man.
My boyfriend and I are hoping to build a motorcycle over this winter time for me because I don't have my motorcycle license yet. It's the one thing I'm lacking. And but I don't know. Yeah, you got to make time for it. Put it in the schedule. It's worth it.
Yeah, you do. Oh, for sure.
I just dropped off a motor this afternoon on a 2021 KX250 that's getting some stuff done to it for the remainder of the season.
What was the damage?
It was still running. Like, it had 53 hours on it, but it's due for because the problem why it was racing down south, he's racing in a limited class, which you can't do anything to any part of the bike. He can't even run exhaust system. So now that bike's back, we're gonna take that motor and make it go fast. Put a bunch of performance piston, cylinder, heads, exhaust, ignition, valves, springs, shims, the whole rigmarole to make it competitive for the pro class for Canada here.
Nice. Well, that's the thing. He can go mod now, right?
Yeah. We're done with the limited class. We're not going back to Loretta's this year. It's full on the Canadian series, and then he can run A in the States next year.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's the big leagues now. Sometimes now Shelby says he loves your shirt. Go hard or go home.
Yeah. Absolutely. That's the mentality, right? If you're gonna ride it hard.
Now that looks like more of a rock crawler setup on that one.
That should just been their stock Razor 1000 4 or 5 years ago. That was a fun weekend, actually.
Did you smash the headlight out of it, or is that came like
no,
that?
it came like that. Yeah, there was already a race into it. But that was the same weekend. I had the Toronto Snowmobile Show. So Friday morning, I was at the Snowmobile Show until 2:00, jumped on a plane, flew to Minnesota, went and shot that Friday night into Saturday, got on a plane Sunday morning, flew back, and went to the rest of the Snowmobile Show in Toronto.
Oh, that's wild. Yeah.
So that was a great one.
And people have no clue, right? They think your life's easy. Oh, all she does is ride.
All I do is ride classic sleds around and go ditch banging and have a good time.
This citation's cool.
I love it. It does not look like that anymore. I beat the crap out of it, and then my stepkids get to ride around on it. So it's found its way into a couple of trees since then.
Oh wow! Now is it a 377 like the 368 cc's? Is that what was in this one?
Yeah,
they're bulletproof. They're awesome.
Oh yeah, it's such a great sled for the kids too. Like, I love to rip it around, and then they can take it out and be comfortable on it, learning. Like, you just can't. I love the vintage. It's just what it is. I like the vintage stuff.
Yeah.
I had a Citation SS back in the old days. The most reliable snowmobile I ever owned.
I'm dying to get my hands on one so I can race it. And though that's a sick sled. Yeah.
Yeah. You had a VMAX too, didn't you, Andy?
Did at the same time. I had the Citation SS and I had a VMAX, and the VMAX was always temperamental and the Citation was bulletproof. I'd have riding the Citation all the time because it would always run.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. Reliability is key when you're out in the middle of nowhere in the wintertime.
Yeah.
Maddie, again, like I talk about, I've been so many places and gotten to meet so many cool people. This is Maddie Cox. She's from like the southern, I'm thinking she's from like the Carolinas. I'm horrible with this.
Yeah.
One of the most fantastic people. She races side-by-sides, and basically she started on her own. She got into it and started wrenching by herself in her garage, building a side-by-side for herself to race while she was still in university. So like, I think I'm crazy and like doing stuff. She's just on another level. So she's an absolute sweetheart. I don't think she's racing anymore. Adulting life kind of takes over for a lot of us, unfortunately. But she was one of those awesome people I got to meet, and I got to ride with her. So that was even better.
Nice. That's cool. Oh man. And we had Gracie Catherine on the 509 rider, and she's just like that too, building stuff and wrenching and
Oh, it's
riding
awesome.
everything with wheels. Like I love it. I think that's cool. There's Random Ryan again. Dude, what did he pay you to get in all these shots?
He's my heydays buddy, man. We're like,
Right on.
we were like inseparable there for a few years when we lived near each other. Well, I mean, you find a gearhead. We're both from Perry Sound. Basically, like Ryan found out that I was interested in snowcross racing. I got to go out and rip with him on the trails, and he's like, "You got to do this. You got to do this." And we've been buddies since. So yeah, he's my heydays trouble.
Ryan's got room in the back there for me. I can
He
climb in.
does.
I'll be the third wheel.
We've had a third wheel before. Katie Erb, who is now Katie Harris. She came with us the one year. We had an absolute blast, the three of us. It was just like, you're exhausted. I'm like exhausted from all the fun. And that's before I even like have to start the work portion of heydays.
Yeah, that's cool. Here, let me see if I can be his twin.
Perfect. There it is.
Was that good? Yeah,
you gotta get some tan on this summer.
Yes. Yeah. Love it.
Oh man.
Here's a classic.
This is every single year, Sunday morning. My breakfast has to be a corn dog. Okay. Like people, Canadians, we don't understand the American food at their fairs, and those corn dogs. Oh man, it's amazing. I have a food to-do list at heydays every year, and that corn dog.
And it's actually corn dogs for breakfast. I love it.
Oh yeah.
Only the best. Okay, there's two pictures. There's two pictures of this here. This is awesome. So what is this? You got to tell us what this is.
So I don't know what I was thinking. We at heydays, because craziness. My assistant Alyssa and I went to like one of the stores. I think it was a Walmart, to pick up dinner or whatever. And I walk by, and of course there's a unicorn onesie hanging there. And I'm like, yo, it's going to be really cold tonight. And I like that. So I bought it, and then I wore it all night at heydays. So this is two of my good friends, Jess Klein, who I've known for, almost 10 years now. One of my first gigs in the motorsports industry was actually as one of her like Powersport models, ambassadors. So I got to work a couple of the shows for her, and we've been close friends ever since. And my friend Leah Bauer, who some of you who race like cross country down in the States and stuff would know her. So she's one of my American friends.
That's wild.
Oh yeah.
And here we go. This is a different picture. So
it has
the same costume.
Yes. So the unicorn has taken shape. It now includes the fuzzy arms and legs and my helmet. My helmet's actually changed again. I now have the full-on like ears and fuzzy helmet going. I've quite enjoyed the unicorn, and just the little kids that love it, the girls that love it. I've worn it to the snowmobile show a couple times, and just it's been a cool way to get attention and bring some fun stuff to the lady racers.
Yeah, well, I don't know if you'd want to wear it at the snowmobile show, because they might mistake you for Louis Skibo if you're wearing those gloves, right?
Hey, you never know. I did the only time I run into is the dogs really like the tail. So it's got a long rainbow tail, and my friend Steve's dog was chasing me around trying to grab my tail.
Oh, that's hilarious. Is that your MXZ 700 there?
That's the one. So I was drag racing it that day. Yeah.
That's beautiful. That is beautiful.
Yeah.
Is it stock, or have you done some?
No, it's still stock. I'm still not sure whether I want to. Like, it's a vintage classic. What I hope to do is to actually find the one my dad had, and then trip this one out for racing and keep my dad's old one as a standard one for trail riding.
Oh, sweet. Good idea. Good
plan.
Sometime as now says, Gary, I'll send you $50 if you wear that outfit when I come up riding with you. Done. Deal.
Perfect. That's an easy 50. Jeez.
Yeah. I've got my own outfit I can wear. I was going to put it on when I was going to put it on when we had somebody said they were going to give me $100 super chat, and I was going to throw the outfit on for the whole show.
The YouTube Standards Council was going to turn that down the further you go down that rabbit hole, buddy.
No, it's good. It's all good. All in fun. So this was just on the weekend at the COVID rally.
Oh yeah, that's another beauty shot from Heydays.
That's awesome.
That's the crew. So you can see me. I got the rock star hat on there, right beside Krista Mackey-Zern. She's a watercross racer out of the States, there, Wisconsin, Minnesota area. She's like a world champion too, bro. She's won championships. This chick is amazing. It's awesome. Yeah, I met so many cool people. Like we got Lindstrom from over in Sweden and Norway, and we got a whole bunch of people there. It's a pretty cool one. I miss Heydays, obviously. I sent a few pictures. I'm like reliving the Heydays vibes.
Oh, I know. Like it's hard to believe that we ever hung out like that, isn't it?
Oh, it's mind blowing. Like, yeah, it's gonna be really. I hope it goes through again this year. I'm like praying here.
I know. But what is Stump? Is it Stump? Go ahead, Andy.
I said they do hang out like that in Florida and in Texas and a few of the other states. Just if throw that in there.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
It's coming though. What is Stump Rate? Is it Stump Racing or Stump Powersports? What is that?
Where are we reading? As I'm getting closer.
On the shirts, they're all wearing Stump shirts.
Oh, it's from so this is the group we actually get to party with. They stay in the other section, like where all the the swap spot. So they bring all the riders together from swap together, and there's some randoms. I'm not really sure what they're from.
Oh, okay, cool. They just seen there was beer and
they'll be friends of friends, probably watercross racers or something. I can't. Yeah. Unfortunately, I can't know.
And then here's Shelby getting her COVID shot here, Andy.
Yeah, you think so, right? No, that's right before Red Bull Snow Boundaries. Like it was basically like the beginning of December. My appendix decided to try and take me out of the game.
Oh.
So that's me discovering that my appendix was poisoning me, and I was in the hospital for about 3 or 4 days.
Yeah.
I was in positive spirits, as you can see.
Yeah, that's right. Oh, jeez.
I got a sucker. I'm good.
Yeah. Yeah, and you know what? It's a bad time to be in the hospital, right?
Oh, it was awful. I was so mad. I'd been training for so long, like leading up to the Red Bull race. And like, I was really planning on like at least making like top 20, you know, I know I'm not going to beat some of these hardcore, like cross country guys, like, I mean, and Levi, come on. But I was like, I had plans and I was in shape. I was like best shape of my life. And then, I just got slapped like that. And the doctor wouldn't even let me on a snowmobile until 2 weeks before Snow Boundaries. So it was so out of shape. When my sled got stuck, I was like, I'm screwed.
Oh, that sucked.
But
it was next year though, right?
Oh, exactly. Well, they canceled it. Unfortunately, I was planning to go back the following year to redeem myself, and no, they canned it, unfortunately. So I'm sure there'll be something else.
I think they're scared of you. They made your appendix burst the first. They faked the burst appendix the first year, and then they canceled the event the next year.
Yeah. See,
sounds like they're chicken.
Yep.
There you go.
So that's the snowmobile show. So I wore the costume out to the snowmobile show. The Rockstar girls loved it, so it was worth it.
That's awesome.
It was cute. You just see all the little kids get excited, and it's fun.
Oh, I bet, right? And you're a role model to little girls, I'm sure, right? Like,
there was dads stopping me to take pictures to send to their kids. They're like, "Oh, my daughter's gonna be so sad she didn't come," and like. There was one little girl that was like following me around and like waving around every corner, and it was super.
That's awesome. It's probably the only thing they remembered from the show, right?
Yeah, make it fun.
You know, that's cool. Well, thank you for being there for them. That's awesome.
Oh,
and in this one here, you probably can't read it, but it says the boys didn't have all the fun. 2 women raced in the event as well. Leah Bauer in the ditch banger and Shelby Mahon, and seen here in the open racer, both finished.
Yeah, that's the shot. So the only photo from the entire race, because, I'm not there to take pictures.
Yeah, right.
Luckily, OSM Magazine got a few shots from the event.
Yeah. So there was other women that raced, or were you the only 2?
We were the only 2. So Leah from the other picture is the other girl that raced. So she was in the ditch banger class.
Oh, right on. Yeah. Right on. And there's another awesome wrap. Is that your sled? Yeah, it is. It's got your name on it.
Yeah, that was a wrap. Yeah, we did that one up as a wrap. I call it my Skittles sled.
Yeah, nice. when did you start using 166? Is there a story behind that number?
Right from the get-go. Basically, so my dad was born in 1966. So I took his year because when he was playing baseball as I was growing up, he had my birthday as his. So I was like, I'm going to use 66 and that'll be my number. So it had to be 3 digits because I wasn't pro at the beginning. So 1 made sense.
Nice. Yeah, well, you're 2 off of Wyatt. He's 164.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There
And
you go.
Andy's six.
That was the
Andy's
story.
60.
I was racing 4-wheelers at RJ's when they were 6 and 4.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
So
Yeah,
that
where your number came from.
and my old number was 64, and then Wyatt, when he was on 50s and right up till he got a 65, and then he said, Dad, I want to be 164. So he's been 164 ever since 65cc bikes, and he ran his AMA Loretta's numbers as 64. So it's neat how the numbers all kind of have some meaning.
Oh, it
Yeah,
is.
that
It's
is
so cool.
Yeah. I really love that when he was in Loretta's and he had your number. I thought that's really cool.
That is. Love it.
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh, look at this picture. Family's really big with you, I noticed in all the pictures.
It is. It's always been so big. So I was really blessed. Morgan and I went to high school together, and then I moved away and life passed on. And 10 years later, we bumped into each other at a snowcross race. We had a mutual friend whose kid was racing, and re-sparked everything from our younger days. And now we're together, and his 2 kiddos live with us. And it's just amazing. It's so cool having a family and living kind of the mom life right now. And we were really lucky because COVID came in and we had all this time to spend together and really bond. And it's awesome. Yeah, like family. There's no point in doing all this stuff if there's no family to enjoy it with.
No, that's right. That's cool.
Yes, and music from her.
Now, did I turn this picture sideways? Like I know you'd sent it to me, but I think it was the other way, and I think I spun it.
It was on an angle.
Yeah, I think it was portrait, and I went, it almost looks better like this, and I think I cranked it. I think this is
As
the
a
one.
photographer, it's really hard to take selfies of yourself when you have chickens on you. Just
I didn't know whether it was you defying gravity or whether it was the chickens.
oh yeah,
So I went with the chickens.
yeah, it was super fun. We started the hobby farm in the springtime. There, we got chickens and bunnies and goats. We just had 4 baby goats born in the last 2 weeks. So it's pretty cool. Yeah, we're having some fun with the animals.
Now, do you chase them around with your camera too, or is that kind of novelty worn off?
Funny enough, like I took a huge break with this. I think I went to go take pictures of a bald eagle and discovered not one of my batteries was charged in my cameras. So yeah, it's been out the window. I've been using my phone. I went and got one of those new fancy iPhones. They take amazing photos. So I've just been lazy. I've been doing the mobile thing.
Yeah. I have my friend that was a sports photographer there, and the guy was at the Snowcross race. I was just talking to him because I had some great shots of sunset from my drone, which I put one of them up on Facebook, and I just said, I haven't edited, like color corrected a photo. I do a lot of video all the time, but I haven't color corrected a photo in forever, and I said I can't even come to a satisfaction that I'm actually there with it. And he said, just put it up. He said, just throw it up and see how it goes. And he goes, I haven't even looked at his MacBook Pro died. And he says he hasn't even picked up any equipment since, and that's probably last year. And he goes, yeah, just taking it all with my phone. And I'm no interest in sitting in Lightroom or Photoshop or anything trying to get things right,
Yeah. Oh, exactly. When I'm not shooting motorsports, that's not worth it.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're going to see pictures of you riding around with chickens in your next buggy, or what?
We were this is how crazy like marketing and stuff has gotten these days. We were making jokes about bringing one of our roosters to a motorcycle event, and literally like within an hour, the advertisings on our phone was showing us helmets for chickens.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
Maybe
yeah.
we're talking about the goats. We'd like to bring a goat because they're fainting goats, so and miniature. So that'd be kind of cool. Yes. So one of the rides we got on this winter is we actually we live close enough to the school that we can take the kids back and forth by snowmobile. So this was one day picking the kids up at the
I think that's cool. Do other parents do that, or was this unique to you?
We may have been the only ones that year. There's a few kids like the high school up the road. Kids ride their sleds to the high school and that kind of thing. So it was pretty cool. A lot of the parents got a kick out of it. There's a couple kids that go by ATV every day and side by side. So it's a nice small area. I love it up here.
Oh, that'd be wild. Andy, did you ever take your son to school on a dirt bike?
No, but I snowmobiled to high school when I was in high school, and
Awesome.
I used to snowmobile to work when I lived in Owen Sound. So
there you go.
Yeah. One day we're gonna get you back on a sled too, Andy. I love how they put a racing number on the old Citation.
Well, so when I raced the vintage class at the CSRA, I took my old number plates off my race sled and slapped it on that baby.
That's cool. Yeah.
So it was fun. Yeah, so that's my stepkids Nathan and Peyton riding around in the yard on the sled, just loving it.
Yeah, that's cool. Hey, they'll have more stories about that than anywhere. So.
Oh, exactly. Oh, yeah, they talk about it all the time. So.
What dealer is this? This is nice.
Isn't this gorgeous? So this is the Cove Marine and Recreational Center, just south of Perry Sound area. They're the dealership we've been with forever. So I snap lots of photos there when I'm doing tourism stuff and going down for visits. And this was supposed to be like the segue into like, I work for BRP now, but yeah. There you go. There's the shot.
That's good. Yeah, it looks like a brand new place. Like I think I remember driving past the Cove years ago. It was more of just a building, right?
Yeah. Yep. It was just a building. They did the timber frame in there. They built a new marina center as well as another showroom. They're doing wonderful. It's really a booming area, and I love the dealership just to go and look at it. It's so beautiful.
Do they have a show booth at the highway exit as you're coming up? If you're going north, just right at Perry Sound when you go into, I think it's a Petrocan.
The local Yamaha dealership usually has that one.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, they're just before that, actually, just off the highway, of exit, just on the other side. But yeah, you see them actually as you're driving down the highway. You'll see one of the great big metal buildings and a ton of boats in the parking lot.
Yeah.
I always know I'm home. That was always my favorite when I was driving back from like university. I went to university in Waterloo, and as soon as I saw that building, I'd be like, yes, I'm 45 minutes from home.
Right on. No, PRP is doing a really good job of building the customer experience. Like even the Energy store inside, it's just so cool. Like it's almost like the evil stepbrother of an Apple store, with cool products in it.
Well, it's been nice. Like they're really going back to like, the main saying, that Skidoo feeling. They're really bringing it back in with the family lifestyle and thinking about the kids and just bringing it back to the cookouts and the fun times. And I'm pretty stoked to be involved right now. This is a great time for me.
Nice.
Yeah. So there's a shot when I was with Hoosier Off-Road. I went full bore and dyed my hair purple and everything. So it was a pretty cool experience. It was pretty crazy, but again, met a lot of awesome people and had some really good times too.
Cool.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
Yeah, nice.
That's awesome. Really good pictures there. If anyone has any questions for Shelby or Andy or me, be sure to let us know. We'll answer them. Just post them up there in the chat, and away we go. But have you got your helmet with you there, Andy?
I took the draw. And I've got the number one.
Well, let's talk about what we're drawing first here.
Yeah.
So from the last,
my battery's going dead.
Okay, no problem. I think we're almost done here. Your lighting's a lot better, believe it or not. And then we lost Shelby. There we go. She's back.
Yeah.
So the last live stream we had OGs on, and OGs is offered up a $99 gift card. It's a coupon code to use on their web store, $99 Canadian as a first prize. And then the second prize, we're going to do a MUDBRATS Ballistic IPA MUDBRATS Brewing t-shirt as a second prize. Any size you want. So so Andy's taken all the entries from the draw from over the last 2 weeks, and you put them in a helmet, and he's stirring them up right now. And let's do the first prize here.
All right. So first prize, guys. This will be for the OG Optics. $99 is Corey Brock.
No, you got to redraw that. It can't be Corey. He'll love that. Congratulations, Corey Brock. That's great.
So Corey Brock. All right.
And then what do we got for the second prize?
He can't win twice, right? Is that what you're saying?
No, he can't. No, he shouldn't have won one. He shouldn't have won the first time.
All right, hang on a second.
Actually, he hasn't been that lucky. There's been other luckier guys on the show that keep winning the same thing. So I'm glad Corey won it. He's a great guy and a good supporter of the show too.
Oh, good stuff. We have the second place prize is Troy Parks.
Troy Parks.
Yep. Yes.
Right on. And he gets Troy is going to get the MUDBRATS shirt. So I'll reach out to them, and or if you're watching, make sure you send us an email to fanphoto@mudbrats.com. Here, I'm going to put it up on the screen here. I can just find it here. There we go. You gotta send me an email with your address. I know Corey's, but the Troy fanphoto@mudbrats.com. Shoot me your address and your t-shirt size, and we'll get that out to you right away. You know, so. Listen, Steven Stronach says, what kind of sled racing does Shelby want to do next?
What was that name? Did you say Steve Stronach?
Yeah.
Hi, Steve. Steve's like my pit crew manager. He's awesome. He's a buddy of mine, too, that races and whatnot. He should know darn well we're going to go do some asphalt racing. Heck yeah.
All right on. So he wanted just to make sure he's probably got the sled half built for you, does he?
Well, I know because he's not a Skidoo guy, so he's usually running Arctic Cat. Then I have to make the decision on whether or not I'm gonna be riding another brand. I don't know.
Oh no!
Yeah, of course.
Would it be a turbo? Would it be a turbo? Would it be a turbo if you went with another brand?
I have no idea, to be honest. I have no idea. Anything, as long as it's fast, just fast and reliable.
He says, "Hi, sister." That's what he says when you say.
He's my brother, absolutely. That's too funny. Oh yeah. You're definitely gonna have to come out with us at the Toronto Snowmobile Show, Gary, because this is the crew that runs it.
Oh, that's awesome for sure. I'd love that. Yeah, absolutely. So that's why I started the Snowmobile Sessions podcast, is because my world is trade shows, and with it canceled, I reached out to some suppliers that were there, Uclear and Fight Harder, and the list goes on, and invited them on to promote their brand through live streaming and podcast, and it worked out well. Tech Vest and everything, and they've all had good success, and hopefully OG's got some publicity and got some business out of it as well. And I know we had a good time on the show. So OG's Optics. It's ogseyewear.com, isn't it?
Yep.
Here, I better get the website right. Hold on here. ogsmoto.com.
That's normally involved. We need it nowadays. That's the thing. There's so much online that we can do to help out these companies that we rely on them all year. We expect them to have stuff, but we need to show some support when we can't right now in person. So this is awesome. I'm glad to see you doing this.
Oh, thank you. No, it's been fun. It's it's something I wish I had more time. I could do it every day, but you don't, And summer's even harder to get the attention. And I appreciate every one of the viewers and all the people that watch the replay. And I just I'm always horrible on putting it up to the podcast platforms, and I just finally put the MX ones, both of them up, and I've had comments on them. I've had emails about them. So awesome. It's nice to see that you know, you don't think anybody's listening, and then you throw one up, and the next day it's like, hey, I was waiting for that one, and you know, so because
Oh,
frankly, people don't get a chance to sit for 2 hours. We've been going 2 hours already, Shelby.
I was
They
saying,
don't
look,
get to.
look, he's like, I can barely see him now. His
Yeah, it's getting
beautiful.
dark.
I know. We got it. It's been the sunset show.
Guys, I'm gonna lose you guys. So my battery's just about euchred in my phone. And Shelby, it was excellent to meet you. I followed you on Instagram. I'll be watching a bunch of YouTube. Gary, thank you again, my friend. I apologize for the Elon Musk internet, but I'm surprised my phone hasn't dropped off. So thank you guys, and thank OGs for putting that the prize towards there. Same thing, Gary. Appreciate everything, and we'll see you guys at the track.
Awesome.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. Make sure you guys subscribe to Andy78 Kerr when we get him going, and he's got lots of adventures, and Wyatt's home now, so we're gonna have a good summer.
I'm gonna post some Florida riding up from Sandlot, a few of the videos from Texas, and hopefully when we get through this the other side of the COVID thing and the quarantine, some more videos coming up. So thanks, guys.
Yeah, for sure. Thank you, Andy. I really appreciate it, buddy. Yeah, so no, that's good. I appreciate him coming in, man. It's
Absolutely.
tough.
He made some serious effort. Like, that was some serious effort to be here tonight.
I'm glad he did, because he had all the ballots for the draw. So if he didn't make that,
Need you ran away. Come on.
Exactly. So sometimes now says, I believe I have MUDBRATS t-shirt 002. Laugh my ass off. He does. That's great. Yeah. So I don't know whether Corey realized he won anything on that. He hasn't commented on the thing yet. Yeah. So, but Kim Tenhove says this young lady is a true blessing to her family. Love her to the moon and back.
Oh,
And
that's my mother-in-law to be.
That's awesome. That's awesome. We didn't have the in-laws watching, so we kept it PG just in case. You know.
They know the real me anyways, so nothing to hide.
Oh, I'm sure. That's the thing. In your world, there's not too many secrets, right?
Well, exactly, right? Everyone talks, everyone knows, and sometimes they don't always know the whole truth, so they know bits and parts of it. That's what keeps our world drama exciting, I guess.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. So I had just sold my sled on the weekend, and selling it was a process, because people would be all, well, they'd ask you questions and blah, 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 and then you might not hear for a day, and then you go, is this the one that's on the YouTube? And I go, oh, geez.
Oh, shit.
It's the one that got the 101 in the 50 zone? No, but it's my other one. It's like, there's no secrets on YouTube. And that's
laugh. Yeah, lady driven, and then someone will comment, Shelby, we know who you are.
Yeah, that's probably not a good thing for you to put in an ad, right?
It's lady driven. It's been babied. Yeah. Yeah.
I know. Yeah. Oh, some of the ladies can outride all the men, and that's why I was surprised that you weren't running against guys in the races, because there's no discrimination on that, because a lot of women are a lot better on that equipment than men,
And we can, like, I always laugh that I didn't fit in the group because I thought about what would happen. No one else did.
Yeah, that's right.
Think about the consequences, and like, I was just breaking parts because people would hit you in corners, and they'd hit you over here, and then they'd be cross jumping, and it was so not worth it. Like, I take pictures of them crashing now instead of being involved in the crash.
Yeah. And it doesn't change. I mean, even in motocross, I know that Andy's gone through a lot with people, like, just contesting Wyatt, going, we're tearing this bike. They contest him, and they tear the bike down to check that it isn't, because he's running all stock, that it isn't modded. And like, even the officials are going, like, Wyatt's like 2 seconds faster on the gas out of every corner. So that's your 20 seconds in a race, or whatever, right? Because he's miles ahead, and the one parent gets mad and makes him tear it down, and they do, and
Yeah.
why it doesn't see the bike until the next race, and you just hope that they put it back together right.
Yeah, and that's
Yeah.
the hard part. You're just penalizing people for being good athletes, like in the end. So that's really it.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. So, but no, that's good. But did you have anything else you wanted to say? I really appreciate you being on the show and sharing your stories and your life. And I see you all the time. I've seen you at a few races. I wanted to queue up some of the videos that I waved and yelled at you over the years.
Yeah,
One
as I'm walking by, probably not even seeing you or hearing you.
no, there's one in Chicopee Racing. If you watch the next one, I'll queue it up for it. But the Chicopee Snowcross, I yelled at you, you yelled back, and then I think in my the fun times at the Toronto Sled Show, I believe you're in. I believe I talked to you at the CF Moto booth.
I believe so. Yes, I remember. Yes, I do remember that.
Yeah. So I'm pretty sure that's way too long of a video. I should have broke it up, but it is time coded. If anyone goes to my channel and MUDBRATS and look up fun times at the Toronto Snowmobile Show, because it is good. The Dave Nerona part's really funny, and
he's always funny.
Yeah, I believe you're in it. Well, that was a hoop for me because I waited to talk to him, and then I don't know whether it was me or my buddy Dean, or could have been Drew, said about the parody video that I did with the shot starter, and knew the video. Like, he knew it enough to, as soon as he had a hint of it, he knew exactly the video and was saying stuff about it and stuff. Because I put him in there and I overdubbed my voice over his, you know. So, yeah. So and I was thinking, oh, he's gonna be like mad. And he loved it. He just loved it. So that's my bucket list. I want to go to Grizzly Mountain Lodge and have a beer with Dave Nerona.
Yeah. Oh, well, that's cool. There's some amazing places I would love to visit in the snowmobile world. Like they've got some amazing lodges and hideaways and little corners of everywhere. Like, I've almost got one in every province and state, that I want to hit up.
Nice. What would be your perfect session if you were to have a ride, like winter or summer? What would be your dream ride and where?
Anywhere with just like that perfect t-shirt weather, a ton of powder snow that I can hit some jumps and some drops and have a cookout, and that it doesn't matter where, just those perfect conditions would be ideal with friends, of course.
Yeah, that's right. You know what's funny is that's almost the identical answer that Blair Morgan gave.
There you go.
I'm dead serious. That's cool.
That's funny. Yep.
Yeah, love it. But we'll wrap it up. I really appreciate you spending a couple hours with us on here tonight. And it's been a hoot. We'll have you back anytime. And if you have anything else you want to add, then just shoot me a text and we'll get you back in.
Awesome, no problem. I'm enjoying it. So I'll definitely shoot out to some friends as well and let them know they need to join you.
Yeah, for sure. That's good. Yeah, like if you have any ideas or anybody wants to come on, I'd love to share the platform.
Handle like the Heydays crew. That would be a hilarious one. We'll have to do one live from Heydays.
Yes, I'd love to do that. No, seriously, like that is definitely a dream of mine as well.
Absolutely. Well, that's totally workable.
That'd be hopefully we can get the borders open by then. I mean, it's not looking good right now, but
no, I know they're telling me if I get my shots, I can go down to work, but I have to have both sets of shots in before September. So
yeah, I get my second one on August 18th, I think it is.
Yep.
So I'm ready to go. Me and Ryan will be there.
You're ready. Well, I certainly hope so. Again, thank you so much for having me. It was a blast. I enjoyed it. So
no problem. Thank you. I really appreciate it. I'm gonna roll the credits and if you want to hang around, we'll chat afterwards. But I'll roll the credits and away we go.
Sounds like fun.
It's a journey for